What is happening, people? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're keeping well. In this video, we're going to be talking about have Tottenham turned a corner? Yeah, because we got that draw at St James's Park where we come back twice against Newcastle in what I think was a well-earned point and a great result. You come back twice, not many teams either get a result at St James's Park, but then to win against Brentford and real positive signs, better performance, huge result. I just think it's worthy of discussion. Have Tottenham turned a corner? If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. For me, it's to get into it. I think we have turned a corner. I really do. And I think sometimes a manager and a team, they need that turning point. I think several teams have had that. For me, even if you look at random example here because he's a former Spurs manager, but Mauricio Pochettino at Chelsea. I know it wasn't perfect in the end, but they beat Villa away in the Cup, and after that they went on a really good run and worked their way up from kind of mid-table to finish it inside that top 6-7 in the end. And Pochettino had it at Tottenham, didn't it? It was at Aston Villa, I think, as well. Might have been something like that, a game like that where we just turned the corner. And I think for me, we started off well, like we do under a lot of Spurs managers, and it kind of fell off of a cliff when the games got tougher and that. I get why some Spurs fans look at, like Nuno and other managers like that, where the situation is comparable. But I think Thomas Frank is better than that. I think he's a really good tactical coach. And I don't buy that he's not a big game manager. For me, he proved at Newcastle he is, and he's proved throughout his time at Brentford that against top six clubs is where he used to thrive best. A lot of people don't understand how significant, what Frank done at Brentford, but with a negative net spend, that's significant. But I want to focus on what we've seen so far from Tottenham. I think the frustration is the way that we're playing. Not many shots on target, not much possession, not much XG. And I understand that. Against Brentford, we looked better and kind of went for it a little bit more. At the same time, I would say to those fans, none of you would have been happy, myself included, with the goals we conceded last year. I think it's sensible and right of Frank to come in and go, look, the priority is defence, the priority is conceding less goals, and the priority is keeping clean sheets. Kind of not only now in the short term, but in the long run. And I know we conceded now probably more goals than I think we did last season under Ange. Initially, it was really good defensively. And then, of course, it's not as good now. But I think we can get back to that. But the point is, I think someone like James Maddison being injured, really didn't help Thomas Frank. I think he would have been really key. I see him as the damn squad that he had at Brentford. But for me, this is a turning point for Tottenham. I'm not going to say, we're going to walk the title, we're going to get top four. I don't think that's the aim this year. I think the realistic aim is to get European football of some kind and juggle the Champions League, get through the group and see how far we can go. I think the quarterfinals, if the draws go in our favour, if, we're at our best, the quarterfinals for me is just about probably achievable. So let's say we finish 7th in the quarterfinal. For me, that's a really good season. I think that's achievable. I'm always glass half full rather than glass half empty. But I still, think even beyond me that is possible. Brentford, I think we saw real positive signs. Like Xavi Simons, it hasn't clicked for him so far, in the Tottenham shirt to get the goal and the assist, in particular the goal where, he loses it initially for a poor touch, wins it back, that fight, that desire. I just really like that. I think Frank's, some people look at it and go, what have we improved under Frank, or how have we improved? Who's he improved? Well, in terms of individuals, I say someone like Van der Ven, in terms of using his head, he's, a lot better aerially, let's say, and kind of using that physical and height advantage that he's got as a defender. So under Frank, we see more goals from defenders. Some would say, is that just them stepping up in the heat of the situation, or is that tactical from Frank? But we're definitely better at set pieces. We are better. I do believe that defensively. I know maybe not the stats always back that up, but I do think we are better defensively. But like I said, I don't think this means it's going to be, the next 6 games are going to be a win. I don't think we get top 4. But I do think now that we start to see this Tottenham side create chances, because I think Xavi Simons is only going to get better. And really, with Maddison and Kulusevski out, it's been difficult for Frank. I think we hopefully get a little bit more out of, someone like a Moani, who looks to be turning kind of a corner in his Tottenham career, really looking good, coming back since injury. Solanke, when he's back, really suits the Frank system as well. Lots of balls in the box. Again, I don't think this is like, oh my God, we're going to go from kind of mid-table to, top 4, like I said. But I do think we will improve from this. We'll see better performances. I think hopefully as well, the home form for me is really key for Frank. I think if you start winning games at home, it makes it a lot easier, because we've done the tough bit, arguably, and shut up shop and been really good away from home. generally speaking. And now it's about improving the home form, which I'd rather it be that way. Although it's frustrating not to get a result at home, I'd rather it be that way, only because I think you can fix it. Not in terms of I don't prefer it, but I think it's easier to fix your home than away form, because this Tottenham team in the past hasn't travelled well. Frank solved a lot of our problems, defensively. From, let's say, we're better at defending set pieces, we're better at attacking set pieces, we're better away from home, the centre back's more aerial, we take advantage of every situation, so we have improved. I think Frank is the right man. I do think this is a turning point that we'll look back on and go, look, thank God we didn't pull the trigger early, which I don't think was ever realistically going to happen, just outside fan grumble. But I do think Frank's right for Tottenham in terms of Frank can bring that community and kind of bring fans and players together. Right now, for me, there's a divide. Is he right for Tadarius to do? Not sure, but this Brentford game maybe proved that he is right, because I know people go, yeah, he just won 2-0 against Brentford. They're doing really well under Keith Andrews. Of Brentford side, that the foundations are installed by Frank. But what is significant for me is the fact that we should have won by more. I think we turned a corner. Do you think so? Let me know in the comments below. It was my short video explaining why I think we have and why Thomas Frank is right for Tottenham. But if you're new, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Let's hope we all look back on this, whether you like Frank or not, and go, this was a turning point. We can really push on. I don't think we'll win a trophy this year, but I think we'll be competitive on all three fronts that we're left in. That's what the club want. I think this will be the lowest finish under Thomas Frank's. Only going to be up from here. And a massive come on, you Spurs.
Just like a song, I'm right